Hey folks, it's Fritgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Alps Panorama at the Northern Sea here in Farming Simulator 19. So anyway, don't be that person. That's all I'm saying is don't be that person. If you're going out on a road, know how high your load is. That's all you need to do, is know how high your load is. How did I even start on this rant? I don't know. I mean, I find it really amusing. I probably sound like I get really frustrated. I don't. I absolutely don't. There is nothing more amusing than going and looking at these pictures of these drivers who decided to try and wedge their lorry in. I mean, if you look at them, you go and Google lorries getting stuck under bridges, and then you can give them a point system. You can go down through all of these bridges, all of these pictures, and you can give them a point system based on how far under the bridge they managed to get before their vehicle actually stopped. Some of them, they get quite high. You know, if you do it sort of like a, say, you get 50 points. 50 points if you get all the way through whilst ripping the top of your vehicle right off. That's a full 50-pointer. It's quite amazing. I mean, some of them, poor effort. You sort of look at it and you think, yeah, not even the cab fit underneath that bridge. There was no way that was going to happen. I'm sorry, mate, you've only earned yourself about 2 points. Quite frankly, you're lucky that you walked away from it. You really are. The ones that I do think deserve harsh punishments and I really don't like is the ones where, you get a bus driver go and do it. There have been a couple of nasty things happen with that, although I don't think anything like, scares and some injuries, but I don't think there's been any fatalities with it. That's different though. That is completely different. It's the lorries under the bridges. You go and have a look at the lorries going under the bridges. It's brilliant. That is really cool. The fact that the cows have weight. I know I did just say that on the last load, but it is. It's really cool. And I maintain that it is really cool. So you look at these pictures, and I mean, the really good ones are the drivers who obviously forgot what they had on the back. It's not like they've got a curtain sider, which they normally run up and down the road with. You go bombing up and down the road with the curtain sider, you walk really to know how high your trailer is. And so they take it and they ram the thing underneath the bridge as hard as they can. You think, yep, that's a 15-pointer, that is. You didn't make it out the other side of the bridge, but you at least got a quarter of your trailer wedged under there with you. I feel that that's worth at least 15 points. Good effort, sir, good effort. But then you have a look at some of these, and the lorries, you know that they just temporarily forgot what load they had on the back. They're obviously lorries like this. You're not going to get a long-nosed lorry in the UK. And they got a flatbed on the back. So you can sort of tell, well, this person is obviously used to a flatbed with a low load that's going to be lower than his cab. It's just this time he's got straw on the back or something else that was sticking up a little bit higher, like a mobile home. I seen this once with a mobile caravan, as a picture of it. Caravan was all mashed up into tiny little splinters and was all over the floor. The lorry had gone right through. Full 50 points. 50 points there. Maximum score, maximum effort. It was absolutely beautiful. I wish I could have seen a video of it. It'd be like poetry in motion. It really would. You just know that the driver temporarily forgot that his load this time, just a one-off, was higher than his actual cab. It's not something that he's used to. And so that's what's happened. He's gone through there and he's heard this sickening crunch from behind him. He's had that sort of in the pit of his stomach dead weight feeling as he suddenly realized, oh yeah, I can't come down this road today because I got a higher load than normal. And he's thinking that, and he's also thinking it at exactly the same time as he's thinking it's a little bit too late to be thinking that though, isn't it? I wonder how I'm going to explain this to my boss. That's the kind of, like, in the pit of your stomach sinking feeling that he's got right there and then. And you almost feel sorry for the guy. I mean, not... Oops. Okay, well, I got to go and explain that to my boss. Oh, I know, I'm my own boss. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Let's take out the other one as well, then. There we go. They shouldn't have put them there. Right? The bad road design, that is. You know I'm going to be heading over to the animals, so why would you do it like that? Bad road design. I need to redo that, but we can't because of the way that it is. It's placeable. The actual bit of road there is placeable, so we can't do much with it. Although we could try. Maybe we could. We can't move the road signs, though. Those are going to stay there as well. Never mind. I won't worry about those right now. So yeah, you've got this whole sort of thing, and the poor driver, he's got there, and he's like, yeah, I got the tall load on today, haven't I? Yeah, well, and then you look in your mirror, it's like, well, I had the tall load on today, didn't I? I had the tall load on today. Maybe not so much anymore, mate. Maybe not so much anymore. Right, anyway, we have gotten this far. What I'm thinking for our next course of action, I'm going to go and park this lorry up somewhere. We will be expanding our cows more. I would like to get a stationary mixer station of some kind so that we can be mixing up feed for the cows. We'll be able to dump in bales of straw and bales of silage and everything else. Right, I'm going to put you right there. And I'm going to go over to this one. We're going to see how you're doing. See, right here, it's going to end up turning on that bit there. It's going to decide that it can't quite turn on that bit fairly soon, I would say. Because it's a very sharp turn that it's having to do there. So pretty soon it's going to say, you know what, that's too far. We can't do that anymore. And then it's going to stop. I've also got a little bit over there. This is why you do kind of want a straight edge. With this turning, with the AI vehicle extension, you do kind of want a straight edge when you're working through it, because it just struggles a little bit in places. It really does. So I'm just going to put that there. Now I'm going to manually finish that one there, like that. Plus I'm going to manually take this bit right here, and I've only got 5 litres of corn left. So that's rather good timing, really. We'll take that one out there, and then we'll run back over to the farm. Like this. We will go and load back up again. Now, I had 1,152 litres of grain on board, of corn on board, and I said that I probably wouldn't need all that much. Well, I didn't know, I wasn't sure. If I'd gone back then and refilled, I'd have been able to, we would have finished the whole thing. I don't think there's any doubt about that. This corner here, look, see, and because the road is the placeable type road, I can't do anything about it. I also can't remove the road signs anyway, and that's the bit that I'd like to do. If I could remove the road signs, that would make life a little bit easier for us. Let's open that one. I'm only going to do the seed. I'm not going to put any more fertilizer in. I've got to take the fertilizer out of this one. Once we're... Oh, no, actually, no, I won't. I'll just leave it as it is. Because we'll keep hold of this... Am I leasing this one? I never know. Seeds. Start. Let me go to the garage. What am I... I am leasing this one. Okay. Well, in which case, we're going to want to send that one back, aren't we? So, I'm going to have to empty out the stuff that I've got in here and put that into a different seed drill. I don't know when I'll do that. I'll have to think about it. What I'm thinking for the rest of the field is we won't use the AI vehicle extension. I will simply put the standard AI going on it, and we'll just work our way up and down. We should be able to start from about this point here, if I can get it roughly where I want it, which should be about there, I should think. Now, that'll do nicely. So I go Control H like this, and then I can simply put that onto normal. You got AI vehicle on or off. Turn it off like that, and then press H, and it will simply just do standard hired help up and down the field. Now, what I do sometimes when I'm using this is standard hired help a couple of passes on one edge of the field to give it a lovely, clean, straight edge. Then switch it over to the AI vehicle extension, because the AI vehicle extension does follow any nuances in the field, and it sort of works its way up and down. More importantly, though, is other than the one little bit that we had up there, it doesn't normally leave any bits behind. It's very good at getting round the bits that are being left behind. So I do like the fact that it does that. There are a few other things that it is a little bit funny sometimes with tractor work anyway. It's much, much better when you're doing it with silage or, with a forage harvester on silage, or a combine on the standard crops, right? The AI vehicle extension with one of those two setups, it's absolutely perfect. I do normally use the standard hired help for field work anyway. I like the fact that I don't actually have to follow the field around the outside all the time with the, just doing it manually, because I can use the AI vehicle extension and I can set it off and it will follow the edge of the field round. It might not be absolutely perfect. It may struggle a little bit, and then you've got the standard hired help, which leaves that little tiny bit. And you know for a fact that when they make the game, they deliberately set the AI to go and do that. They leave the little tiny bit there every single time. Well, maybe not every time, but almost every time, to encourage you to use just to do it manually. I don't know why they would do this. It doesn't. That is my theory, because it's always done that. It's always left a little tiny bit behind every single pass. All right, every pass, and it does it. And I don't know why. I don't know what. The only theory that I can come up with is that they're trying to push you to use standard hired help. They're not use standard hired help, to do it yourself. And okay, that's fine, but that's not my game style. I don't like to sit there driving it myself for the most part. I prefer having the game do it, because then I can go on and do other things, or I can just watch it. I can just sit and admire it as it happens. With the way that weeds work in FS19, in Seasons, sorry, it is FS19 as well, it does mean that we're going to need to do that field ourselves. Now, we don't have anything for weeds just yet. That's not a thing that we've come up with. So I've got those 4 on lease right now. And if we go into here, we've got all of these owned vehicles right here. All of this owned stuff. I've got the nice big cultivator there. We've got the mowers. We've got a couple of barrel weights. And then a few other bits. These farmhouses over here. That one right there. I want to sell that farmhouse. And it's this one up here, look. All the way up on top of the hill up here. And I'm going to sell this one. I'm also going to sell the other one that's on the map there. I'm going to sell that one. So I come out of there, and it's that one there. We've got this one back at the main yard. I don't want to sell that one, but I do want to sell this one right here. That's the one that's over by the beach. So I get rid of those two. That's a little bit of money coming back to us, which is quite nice. And I want to come out of that category, and I want to go into sprayers. Where is it? Seeders. Fertilizer. Crop protection, that's what we're looking for. So we've got a choice. We can go with one of these right here. We've got the Coon by Stevie there. So just increases the capacity and so on. Navigator 6000, the Hardi. That has got a 36-meter boom on it. Does 12k as it goes across the field. Or we can go in here, and we got one of these. We've got the Hardi right there, which is a 48.5 meter spread. We've got this one here, which is actually a combi machine. You can do spraying on this one, and it also does solid fertilizer as well. This is 27 meters. Smaller one, that one is. We've got the Amazon Pantera. Excuse me. The Amazon Pantera there is a 41 meter spread, which is not as much as the Hardi Rubicon 9000 over here. But I mean, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Amazon Pantera, because that's the one that used to be in FS15, I think. It might have been the one that was in FS13. Yeah, it was. This was in FS13. It wasn't a mod in FS13. It was a standard addition to the game. And then it got removed, and then they've added it back as a mod. And they keep adding it back as a mod. I don't know why they can't just have it as a base game. Anyway. We've got a 33-meter one here, the Big Brute. I've never tried that one. I didn't really want to. They've got the Horse one there, it's 36 meters. The New Holland one at 36 meters again. It's, you know, they're all good. And then you've got the Terrogator over here. I'm not quite sure why that one's in this category. That's the wrong category. So we've got quite a wide selection. I like the Horse one here, but it's the Hardi one there. 48.5 meters. The fact that it is so enormously wide is the reason that I want to get this one. So I'm going to go into there. The only downside to this is that it is €500,000 to buy that one. Right? The price tag is just a teensy little bit higher than the rest of them. That one's 260,000, and we get 36 meters. That one's 211,000. That one's 195. So 200. That one's 250. This one here is €500,000. So it's got a nice spread on it. I mean, it is a beast. It is a beast of a machine, isn't it? There's no denying that that thing there is an absolute monster of a sprayer. And because it's such a beast, such a monster, we are going to use it. We're going to have the old GPS put in on board as well, right there. Another 15,000 takes us well over the €500,000 price tag. And I mean, lease 25,000. It's going to be an expense. I'm thinking we just go for it. We buy it. Why not? Go for it. Live life dangerously. Do it. That's what we're doing. We're going to live life dangerously. We're going to buy that bad boy right there. Let me just, we'll go through. There's the Hardi Rubicon right there. And it did fit right in front of the shop. That's good. I'll go to you here. See, that's coming along quite nicely now with the hired help. It looks like it hasn't left all that much up the other end with the little spots. After all I was saying about leaving the spots behind, it's only left one little tiny bit. I'll let that one go. I'm not going to do anything with that one. I'm just going to leave him be. And we're going to go back to this one. The Hardi Rubicon 9000. I want to have a look in cab a minute. See what this thing's like. This is one job that I've done it once. Why did it do that? Why did it catch like that? That was weird. I didn't like that. That scared me. I've only ever done this job once with a tractor with a little old sprayer on the back. It wasn't much of a sprayer. But I've never used a machine like this. Never done anything like this. I've never even ridden in a machine like this. I would love to have done it, but this is not something that's ever happened. Right, toggle steering mode. There. All-wheel steering. That's more like it. That's what I want. I like all-wheel steering. In theory, well, I don't know if there's actually a law about it. It's certainly recommended by anybody that I've ever worked for. That you just have front-wheel steering when you're driving along a road, and you have your four-wheel steering when you're not on the road. I don't know. I mean, the reason you do that is because it makes the steering incredibly sensitive. So if you're going along a road at top speed, and you go over a bump, it's much more likely that you will suddenly turn sharp, and you could end up potentially causing or being the accident or causing an accident. And so in order to avoid that, it's you generally go along a road with just the front wheel steering enabled. What I'm not sure about though is if it's a legal requirement here in the UK to do it like that. That's the one bit that I don't know. I don't know if you are required by law to only have front wheel steering, or if you are indeed allowed to do it, but it's just, a recommendation. So let's start filling this one up with herbicide. I'm going to fill you right up, all 9,000 litres, and we're going to take this one out to the big field over there, and I'm going to start spraying. We've got a couple of little spots on the field that didn't germinate. I'm going to leave those. I'm not going to do anything about them whatsoever. They can stay exactly as they are. Fill that one all the way to the brim, like that. And off we go. We're going to head out to this field. So I am not actually going to go right out to the field just yet. I'm going to bring it over to here. And then I'm going to... Let me just stop it there a second. And I'm going to go... I've actually gone the wrong way cycling through. No, that's fine. How long have you got left? Right, let's not bother sitting and watching that one. I'm not going to nurse that one through everything. Let's just go back over to our hut. I love this thing. I mean, look at it. It does look like a bit of a beast, doesn't it? Now, I was told that Hardi is actually an Australian brand. Is that true? Is Hardi an Australian brand? I'm familiar with them. I have seen them around. I remember seeing these around back years ago. Unless it was a brand that was just very, very similar. But as far as I know, Hardi have been around for a very long time. At least like 30-odd years. And this is one of those points where I'm saying it, but I'm not actually 100% sure. If it's not Hardi, then it is a brand that is similar looking. That's what I will say. So I'm not saying, yes, it's definitely these, because I'm not certain. But I'm thinking it's probably these that have been around for such a long time. Now, did the wheels spread out then, or do the wheels stay where they are? I think the wheels just sort of stay where they are. And that one comes all the way out over to there. This is a 50-meter... Look at this thing. Look at that. 50-meter spread. That is really impressive. Look at this thing. It's monstrous. It's absolutely monstrous. I'm loving this. I am absolutely loving this. Okay, I'm going to start you up right there. The only problem I do have with this is that it doesn't show up on the field. Right? I've seen it. Sometimes it did show up on the field, but this isn't showing up. I'm not getting like a dark mark turning up on the field to show that it's here. We're spraying at 25 kilometers an hour as well. Look at us go. Oh, and... Okay, that's strange. Why is it doing it like that? This is what it... Have we already done this somewhere else? I'm spraying herbicide on this field. I'm not spreading anything else on the field. But it's not accepting it across the whole field. It's accepting it in part of the field. I am going so fast. I haven't accidentally bought the Stevie version, have I? Hang on a minute. I got to find out. Have I accidentally bought the Stevie version of this? I did not mean to. If I bought the Stevie version, that was definitely a mistake. There. I fully intended to buy the standard version of that one. Rubicon 9000. That's not a mod. That is actually how fast it goes. 25k. Okay, I'm surprised. That genuinely surprised me. Crop protection in here. You right there, you go at 12k. You here, you go 15k. Well, that one does 25k. That one races up and down the field. 12. That one does 12. That one there does 30k. So Stevie has done as usual, and he has increased the speed of it. Rubicon right there, 25k. And then 50k top speed. That's quite impressive. 25k! This is why it costs so much. Not only is it the widest boom out of all of them at 50-meter spread, almost, but it goes double the speed of most of the others. 25k across the field. I mean, yeah, I know that the Big Brute does 25 as well, but like, you get where I'm coming from with this, don't you? I'm sure you get where I'm coming from with this. 25k, and it's got this huge, great big wide spread, but why is it not, like, it's very patchy, this. This is something to do with, excuse me. This is something to do with how we created the fields originally, isn't it? That's what this has got. That's what this is down to. Is how the fields were originally created. I'm assuming that the way that the misters work on this one, let's turn around there, that's also had some sort of impact on it as well. So it's able to go further. Whether it's just pumping the stuff through faster, because it does actually, like, the herbicide does seem to be using up a little, fairly quickly, but I don't know if it's going faster than normal or not. A real way of deciding that one. That is a little bit odd. I don't actually know that. But the bit that I do find strange is the way that it seems to be so patchy. I'm driving along here. In our next year on here, when we go back over it again, I'm assuming then that it will sort of spread the stuff more evenly. Because we made this field, we created this field from scratch, didn't we? So there are some bits of this field, like right here now. I've now got some areas of the field that seem to be taking on some treatment. And let's try lifting the... Okay. The boom is doing some strange stuff right here. We're down in a dip here. This is why you don't want rough ground for this one, I would assume. It's definitely... It wasn't supposed to quite lift us up off the ground like that. I mean, it's still doing it. It's still working. It's still doing everything that I want it to do. I'm going to lower the boom down a little bit. Now I'm going to lift it right back up again because of how it is across the edge of the field there. And I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go up here, and we're going to go right round the edge of the stand of trees a second. And do that one. See if I can actually keep it out from the trees and get all the way round. And here, see, I'm doing a circle all the way around the edge of the trees. So what's significant about this? Wait a minute. This is what I did manually. I did stuff manually with this, didn't I? I came through here and I manually did some of this. And then some of it I did non-manually. And I'm just wondering if the weeds are only coming up where I was actually with the machine. Is that anything to do with it? Maybe it's not. I don't know. No, because I did right round the very edge down here as well. So quite why it's just showing up in stripes like this, I don't know. Maybe that's to do with how the seasons itself works. That's the program, that's like the planned path for where the weeds can go. So it decides beforehand, right, weeds can go in this bit. And so you'll have patches of the field where it won't allow you to put anything down. Then you'll have patches of the field where it'll allow you to put everything down. So that's kind of what's happening here. I've definitely got a very patchy coverage on this field. But then, wherever the weeds are, it's giving me the thing for the spray. I've not had, I don't think, you look there, like, see where it's sort of coming through? So it's going darker to sort of indicate that that's where the spray is going on the field. I don't think we've had any point here where it's gone darker to indicate that the spray has gone onto the field, and at the same time, it has also had where it's not gone darker. There's no weeds been over there where it doesn't look like we've put anything on the field. There's no weeds there at all, so it only appears to be in the patches where it's gone darker. But I don't really get how that's supposed to work. But I think that might be, because remember we have also ploughed up the field, and so we sort of started from scratch. So it could very well be to do with that, rather than anything else. Now I'm going to get to, I'm going to leave the Challenger over where it is for a minute. We're not going fast with time or anything like that. So we want to go Alt-C to turn the GPS on. Then I want to start this one up so he's running. And then I want to go Alt-E. And you've actually got to press Alt-E twice. To make it actually work, you've got to press Alt-E twice. So then I will press Alt-E again, like that. I think I went far enough then. I'll turn that one off a second. And now I will go Alt-S. And no, that's seasons. Now I need to go Control-S to go into here. And I should have. So I've got Snap Terrain Angle. That's on. Auto width 48.5 meters. I've got no invert on there at all. I've got no offset on there at all. Auto width. There's nothing else that I need to do, is there? Wait, there is. Show lines. I want to see the lines. There. And there are my lines. Right, and they're out on the side of it as well. So now, if I go Alt-X, there's the line. And it goes on to there. So you sort of need to be directly on top of it. So if I bring you up over here like this, you can see that line. That goes all the way over there. So I'm actually going to go Alt-X right now and get it to snap to that line. And you need to go sort of slow to allow it to connect up. And then I've got to back all the way down here so that it gets to the right point. And it will actually meet up with everything that I want it to do. There, and now up across the field. I can lower that down a little bit. Well, that's about all we've got time for in today's episode. So we're going to go and take a little bit of a break. We need to chill out on the beach, relax, and build up some strength. So while we're doing that, if you've enjoyed the episode, then could you please head down below and give us a like? And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.